Hi everybody, this is Christy. I am the Intimate Warrior. I thank you so much for stopping by, and as always, I send you love. Today's video is more so in reference to the full moon in Gemini that is coming up on December the 18th, 17th, 18th, 19th, depending on your time zone. So Gemini is known as the twins, okay? And some people have the twins of females. Some are going to have female and male, and then some have male, two males, a set of male twins, or male twins, excuse me. It doesn't matter what you are going through in mythology or whatever. This is the sign of Gemini goes through Castor and Pollux in the constellation of Castor and Pollux through that sign of Gemini. Now the twins, although are very mutable, it deals with the element of air, also rules Mercury, and it is through the season of spring, and the charge is very positive. This is going to deal with our lungs, arms, hands. And although, because we are having a set, or we're having twins here, the overall energy of it is of the yang energy. But because they're, again, we're dealing with a set here, one is the yin and one is the yang. It signifies the law of polarity or duality, that everything has its counterpart, a negative, a positive, a passive, an aggressive, a masculine and a feminine energy, a good and a bad, the light and the dark. So, but when you're thinking of the twins, because there is that glyph depicts two lines that are joined together, symbolizing the connection between polarities or dualities, or the laws of nature and the laws of polarity. Now, because of the full moon here, today is what day is it? Today the 11th, I believe? Today's the 10th, I'm sorry. Today's the 10th. We are just a few days away from the peaking, or it's already open, the 12/12 gateway through 12/21 solstice. So this is really seen as the solstice gateway, and it's 10 days. It marks 10 days off. And we all know that 10 can be seen as the alpha and the omega. And I hope you can see the significance of, or hear what I'm trying to say here. Gemini means balance of energies. In order to become balanced, truly, to have true balance, we have, besides doing all the work, we have to get to 0 point. Now the universe is taking us into 0 point per the 12/12 gateway. We will be anchored in at 0 point energy, especially going into 12/21 for the solstice. No matter if you're in the winter, excuse me, solstice or not, the solstice is the solstice, and the energy is still taking us into 0 point and connecting with the great central sun. What is balance? When we are truly at balance, and we are always working at the levels of balance until we get to the highest level of attainment. In order to truly get to the highest level of attainment, we have to continuously go through laws of duality, or laws of polarity. We have to go through and activate ourselves at 0 point. We all know that 12 is a sign of completion. 12 also adds up into 3. I told you that December is really the time, or the energy of 33, which is ascension, rising above the 33rd vertebrae or the Alta Major, or the heart chakra as well, the higher heart chakra. This is where we are connecting more with the Holy Father and the Holy Mother, where, again, because we have reached the unified field or 0 point energy, we can birth into something. The Christ self can birth. Now 12 signifies the connection of the masculine spin of the Merkaba. 12 is the sign of Metatron's cube, with the 12 spheres within Metatron's cube. Remember, it's the 13th activation that we so need within our heart that completes or aligns us and unifies us within our Merkaba field. And we went through the 13th gateway with Ophiuchus already. So we should be ready to become, to be placed within balance. And that is something that Source has spoken to me about, just giving me the beautiful word of balance. And every time we go through a certain cycle, we are getting into balance. The 12-12, and because now we're going into a full moon of Gemini, where it is the twins. One twin was mortal, one is immortal. One is passive and one is aggressive. Yet, both combined together are balanced. It's both sides are needed. And when you come through that central pillar, or because both of the twins are connected with the two lines on the top that cross or keep them intact, it's signifying that they are connected. And when we are connected, we're using our central or the 13th hookup, which becomes our higher heart, which is the 13th, or it becomes the peach ray of our heart, but we are working with the 13th mother arc at that point. So we have to really collect. We have to be able to collect these energies. We're collecting it, and then bringing those into alignment through our center. And once we have everything in complete balance, we can go through another energy where we can create, or something is birthed within us. Now 1221 is really activating or taking us into a birthing portal again. A birthing portal between the gates of silver and gold, which still is including Ophiuchus within this, because we need three aspects of self in order to, or the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, or really it's the Mother, the Father, and the Child that take us into the birthing within ourselves, and the light within ourselves, the higher self within ourselves. But before we get to like the gateway of the solstice gateway, the peak of it, or the 1221 ending of it, if you want to call it that, we have to, again, hit something else, which this full moon in Gemini is going to give us the energy that is associated with Gemini. Balance. We have to become in more balance. And remember, the lunar energy is always about our roots, or inner darkness, our earth, the root and the solar plexus. It deals with the waters within us, and the sexual waters. It's also going to deal with your moon in cycles wherever you are at. And then when the moon is in illumination, it acts like a solar energy. So when we are actually looking at, if we are going through our Merkaba hookup now, the 12, just like the 12 on the clock, the upwards and downwards. So the 12 is going to be, is consistent with the Father, and the 6 now is consistent with the Mother energy. Those two must spin, or it becomes the 0 point field. Anyway, this is the source of all of our genesis. It is the central point of all of our union. When we have really completed or become in balance, it's like the silver cord. It is where the Sushumna energy is finally rising within us, or the Kundalini energy is rising. Now the light from the Ein Sof is able to come down from the crown, enter into all of our chakras, mix with the Kundalini, and then rise back up again. This rising back up again, and the rising and the ascension and descension of the mix of the light of the Ein Sof with the CSF is consistent with time. Our chakras are consistent with time. Time mixes into our DNA, and where if our chakras are spinning in its proper balance, we receive information that deals with time. Of course, this is going to give us more information about our higher self. And when we get into the 1220, because we're going from the 1212, we're going into 1218, where we become a little bit more unified, more in balance. We are now able to go through 1221 to become something. We have to get through these levels of activation before we can become something. And it doesn't matter where you are on your journey. If you're just now beginning to wake up, you are going to get into balance some way, shape, or form. It might seem a little more chaotic in the beginning, to where, like I might be. But, for the last 3 months for myself, I could say has been the most intense that it has been in a year and a half, maybe 2 years. It's been a little bit more subtle for myself the last 2 years, and this is my 4th year. I just entered into my 4th year throughout the summertime, where I am in the 4th year of my awareness of my journey now. And so we're going through these cycles. We have cycles of 3 that work our way through, and then we have cycles of 4. 4 is the foundation, signifying foundation for myself. I know where I currently am, and please don't put a time frame on your ascension. You are here for a time, and it doesn't matter if you complete your ascension today or 20 years from today. You are supposed to be here, and you're supposed to take however long it is. Of course, when you become more centered within the heart and understand that your reality is a reflection of your inner being, then you can correct and ascend more quicker. So I know this video is a little bit over. It's everywhere again. My videos have been here a little bit for a little while here. I don't know if it makes sense to you guys. So before I go, I just want to mention, because going through the full moon in Gemini, again, Gemini deals with our lungs, our arms, and our hands. And of course, this deals with our breathing cycles. So again, our lungs can be affected, but because our lungs play such a huge part in the rest of our body, everything else within our body can be affected. The mind, the heart, the physical body can be affected. I am dealing more with my breath in the last 3 months again than I have been. It's a more reflection of the beginning of my cycle too. But in the beginning of my cycle, I saw myself as really, really sick, compared to now as I'm still seeing myself. And of course, I have been seeing myself as purifying. But this is a deeper sense of purification and therefore alignment. So if you are dealing with breathing issues, of course, we're at the ascension cycle where the breath is more affected regardless. Through the fall and winter season, our breathing cycles are more affected because the heart has been more affected. But now here we are with the full moon in Gemini, which specifically focuses on the lungs, purification of the lungs, alignment of the lungs, and of course everything else, alignment with creating balance within. Our breathing cycle is so important. If we are at ease within ourselves, if we are in balance from within, our breathing is more subdued. Now, even though you might have breathing difficulty, you're still more subdued. Because yes, I am dealing with issues of sometimes I almost collapse because my breath is taken away, but it doesn't mean that I'm not in balance or that I'm not at ease in my breathing. Your breathing cycles will tell you how you are internally, how you are handling your experiences in life is a reflection of your breathing. So if you get angered, you know what happens? Your breathing quickens. You're taking in more negative ions or particles, okay? And your body is taking that in, and then now you have to be the one to release it. So that's what really happens. When we become angered, upset, depressed, we're taking in negative particles. And it's up to us to figure out how to purify ourselves of those negative particles and become more in alignment with the self and, of course, the source. All right, guys, so I hope this video helps you once again on your journey, and I will see you guys next time. This is Christy. Much love, health, and healing your way. I am bringing purpose to your life. Take care.